The truth about the ex of the person you truly love was exposed last night. Here's the big secret they were hiding. Don't scroll, listen to this because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. If these words have found you today, it is not by accident. I have guided your steps here because your spirit has been asking questions your mind has not been able to answer. My beloved child, I have seen every tear you kept hidden, every prayer you whispered into the silence, every moment you wondered why the person you truly love seemed so close to your soul yet so far from your life. You have questioned the delays. You have questioned the silence. You have even questioned whether this connection was ever real. But I tell you now, do not allow temporary confusion to make you doubt what I have already placed inside your heart. Listen to this because this message is for you. Something significant has shifted. A truth that remained buried beneath layers of fear, pride, and unfinished chapters has begun to rise into the light. What has been hidden can no longer remain hidden forever because every season of deception eventually reaches its ending. Your heart needs this right now because what is being revealed is not meant to fill you with fear, it is meant to replace confusion with clarity. My beloved child, for so long you believed the obstacles standing between you and the person you truly love were simply bad timing or unfortunate circumstances. You tried to convince yourself that maybe destiny had changed its course. But deep inside, your spirit never accepted that explanation. There was always a quiet whisper telling you that something more was happening beneath the surface. That whisper came from me. I have been gently preparing your heart to recognize truth when it finally appeared. Listen to this because this message is for you. The past has more influence than many people realize. Old wounds have a way of following people into new beginnings until those wounds are honestly faced. The person you love has carried emotional weight they rarely speak about. They learn to hide it behind smiles, busy schedules, and carefully chosen words. They became skilled at pretending everything was fine while quietly carrying burdens that were never meant to remain on their shoulders. Those burdens did not begin with you. They began long before your paths crossed. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now. There was a chapter in their life they believed they had already closed. They told themselves it no longer mattered. They convinced themselves it no longer had power. Yet unfinished emotions have a way of lingering quietly until they are finally acknowledged. My beloved child, what I am revealing is not about blame. It is about understanding. Sometimes the greatest obstacle to a soulmate connection is not the absence of love but the presence of unresolved pain. The person you love has spent more time healing than anyone around them realizes. They have questioned their own judgment. They have struggled to trust again. They have wondered whether opening their heart would simply lead to another season of disappointment. Listen to this because this message is for you. None of those fears were created by your connection. They existed before your story together even began. Recently, something happened that caused memories they believed were forgotten to return with unexpected clarity. Perhaps it was a conversation. Perhaps it was an unexpected message. Perhaps it was a dream that felt more real than waking life. Whatever the moment looked like, it caused them to stop running from the past. Instead of avoiding old questions, they began asking them honestly. My beloved child, when someone sincerely seeks truth, I always begin revealing what they are ready to receive. Little by little, pieces started falling into place. Certain events suddenly made sense. Certain reactions no longer seemed random. Certain emotional patterns finally had an explanation. Listen to this because this message is for you. Sometimes healing begins the moment someone realizes they were carrying pain that never truly belonged to them. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because you have also been receiving signs. Perhaps you keep noticing 111 appearing on clocks just when thoughts of this person enter your mind. Perhaps 222 follows you everywhere, quietly reminding you that alignment is taking place beyond what your eyes can currently see. Maybe you have noticed feathers appearing in unusual places, songs playing at the perfect moment, or dreams that leave you feeling strangely peaceful. My beloved child, these moments are not promises that every outcome will unfold exactly as you imagine. They are gentle reminders not to lose hope while clarity continues to unfold. I often speak softly before circumstances begin speaking loudly. The person you truly love has begun recognizing that parts of their past shaped the way they responded to love in the present. They now understand why they hesitated during moments when they wanted to move closer. They understand why trust sometimes felt difficult even when their heart longed to believe. Listen to this because this message is for you. Awareness changes everything. A person cannot heal what they refuse to see, but once they recognize the source of their fear, they no longer have to remain controlled by it. My beloved child, the chains that once held them emotionally are beginning to weaken. Not because someone else forced them to change, but because they finally became willing to face what they had avoided. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now. There are conversations happening within their own heart that no one else can hear. They have been replaying moments they once dismissed. They have been asking themselves difficult questions. They have been wondering how many decisions were influenced by old hurt instead of present truth. This realization has humbled them. It has softened them. It has made them realize that genuine love deserves honesty instead of fear. Listen to this because this message is for you. You may not see this transformation with your physical eyes yet, but your spirit has already begun sensing it. That unexplained feeling you have carried recently is not meaningless. It is your intuition recognizing movement before circumstances fully reveal it. My beloved child, I know there were days when you nearly gave up. I know there were moments when you questioned whether waiting had any purpose. Yet every season carried a lesson that prepared both hearts for greater wisdom. You were learning patience. They were learning courage. You were learning discernment. They were learning accountability. Neither journey was wasted. Even the silence taught something valuable. Listen to this because this message is for you. Do not measure your story only by what has not happened yet. Measure it by how much both hearts have grown through the waiting. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because the emotional walls surrounding the person you love are beginning to crack. They no longer find comfort in pretending everything is fine. They no longer wish to hide behind distractions. They have started praying different prayers. Instead of asking for escape, they ask for clarity. Instead of asking how to forget, they ask how to heal. Instead of asking why life became so complicated, they ask what truth still needs to be understood. My beloved child, those are powerful prayers because they invite transformation rather than avoidance. As they continue this journey, more signs seem to appear around them. They notice repeating numbers like 444, reminding them they are not walking through this season alone. They see 777 at unexpected moments, encouraging them to trust divine wisdom instead of old fears. Even ordinary conversations seem filled with unusual meaning. A stranger says something that answers a question they never asked aloud. A familiar melody awakens emotions they believed had disappeared. A peaceful feeling suddenly replaces anxiety for no obvious reason. Listen to this because this message is for you. These moments are strengthening their spirit one step at a time. My beloved child, your role during this season is not to force what cannot yet be forced. Your role is to remain grounded in peace instead of panic. The universe does not rush what still needs wisdom. Real healing is deeper than appearances. It transforms hearts from the inside out. The person you truly love is becoming someone who can recognize genuine love without allowing yesterday's pain to decide tomorrow's future. That transformation is worth more than any hurried outcome. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because there is still one truth that has not fully come into the light. The person you love has only begun connecting the pieces. They sense there was more happening beneath the surface than they originally understood. Their intuition keeps urging them to look deeper. They are beginning to realize that certain stories they accepted without question may never have reflected the complete picture. They are becoming willing to separate assumptions from reality, fear from wisdom, and old narratives from present truth. My beloved child, that willingness is opening the door to profound healing. Listen to this because this message is for you. Stay patient just a little longer. Continue protecting your peace. Continue listening to the quiet guidance placed within your spirit. The chapter of confusion is slowly giving way to a chapter of understanding. What once seemed impossible to explain is beginning to reveal its purpose. The heart of the person you truly love is changing in ways they themselves do not fully understand yet. They are walking toward honesty one step at a time, and every step brings them closer to seeing this connection with clearer eyes than ever before. But there is one final revelation still waiting to surface, a realization so unexpected that once they discover it, they will never look at the past the same way again, and that moment is closer than either of you realizes. Don't scroll. Listen to this because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. My beloved child, what I am about to reveal is not meant to stir fear inside your heart but to awaken wisdom inside your spirit. Every soul carries chapters that remain hidden until the right season arrives. The person you truly love has been walking through one of those hidden chapters without fully realizing how deeply it continued to influence their life. They believed the past was behind them, yet echoes of yesterday continued shaping today's decisions. They thought they had already healed, yet certain emotions still quietly responded whenever old memories appeared. Listen to this because this message is for you. Healing is not pretending the wound never existed. Healing is finally looking at the wound without allowing it to define your future. That is exactly where your loved one stands today. They have reached a place where they can no longer ignore what their own heart has been trying to tell them. Something within them has awakened, and once a soul begins to awaken, it becomes impossible to return to spiritual sleep. My beloved child, for a long time they carried a version of the past that felt complete. They believed they understood why certain relationships ended, why trust became difficult, and why opening their heart again seemed so frightening. But recently they began seeing the same memories through completely different eyes. Events they once blamed entirely on themselves suddenly looked more complicated. Conversations they had forgotten started returning with surprising clarity. Words that once sounded harmless now carried a different meaning. Patterns they never noticed before suddenly became impossible to ignore. Listen to this because this message is for you. Truth does not always arrive through one dramatic moment. Sometimes it comes through 100 quiet realizations until your soul can no longer deny what it has finally understood. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because the universe has been surrounding your loved one with reminders. They keep noticing 333 in unexpected places, a gentle whisper encouraging them to trust divine guidance instead of old fears. Then 555 begins appearing repeatedly, reminding them that change is already unfolding even if it cannot yet be fully seen. They wake in the middle of the night with your name unexpectedly crossing their mind. They hear familiar songs that suddenly feel deeply personal. They find themselves remembering conversations with you that once seemed ordinary but now feel filled with hidden meaning. My beloved child, these moments are not random. They are invitations to pause, reflect, and recognize what the heart has been trying to say all along. Listen to this because this message is for you. The person you love has started asking themselves difficult questions. Why did I always feel peaceful around this person even when life was chaotic? Why did I keep comparing everyone else to them? Why did every attempt to completely move forward somehow lead me back to the same thoughts? These questions are changing them. Instead of searching for distractions, they are searching for understanding. Instead of blaming circumstances, they are examining their own beliefs. Instead of assuming yesterday's story must continue forever, they are beginning to believe that healing can create a different tomorrow. My beloved child, there was a time when they believed protecting their heart meant keeping people at a distance. They confused emotional walls with emotional strength. They believed silence was safer than vulnerability. But now they are discovering something far more powerful. A guarded heart may avoid disappointment for a season, but it also prevents genuine love from entering freely. This realization has humbled them. They are beginning to understand that real courage is not refusing to love, it is choosing honesty even after experiencing pain. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because something unexpected recently stirred emotions they thought had disappeared forever. It may have been hearing someone mention your name without warning. It may have been seeing a place that reminded them of you. It may have been an ordinary afternoon when a single memory suddenly filled their heart with overwhelming emotion. Whatever happened, it broke through the walls they had carefully built. They could no longer convince themselves that this connection had simply faded away. Listen to this because this message is for you. Some connections remain alive because they were never created by coincidence. They continue calling to the soul until truth finally catches up with the heart. My beloved child, I know you have sometimes wondered whether your patience has been in vain. I know there were nights when you asked why everything seemed delayed. But understand this, delays are not always denials. Sometimes they are seasons of preparation. While you were learning peace, the person you love was learning discernment. While you were discovering inner strength, they were learning emotional honesty. Neither journey has been meaningless. Every lesson has quietly prepared both of you for a future built on greater wisdom than either of you possessed before. Listen to this because this message is for you. The person you love has begun recognizing emotional patterns they carried for years without understanding their origin. They now see how past disappointments shaped future expectations. They realize how quickly they assumed the worst whenever uncertainty appeared. They understand why trusting someone completely felt almost impossible. These discoveries have brought both sorrow and freedom. Sorrow because they recognize opportunities they may have missed. Freedom because they finally understand they are no longer required to repeat the same emotional cycle. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because forgiveness has quietly entered their heart. Not perfect forgiveness. Not complete healing overnight. But the first sincere desire to stop allowing old pain to control new beginnings. My beloved child, forgiveness does not erase memory. It removes the power memory has to control tomorrow. The person you love is beginning to release burdens they carried far longer than necessary. With every burden released, their heart becomes lighter. With every truth accepted, fear loses another piece of its influence. Listen to this because this message is for you. Have you noticed how your own intuition has become stronger lately? Perhaps you suddenly think about them moments before hearing something that reminds you of them. Perhaps you keep noticing 11:11, feeling an unexplainable sense of hope each time it appears. Maybe peaceful moments arrive without any logical reason. My beloved child, your spirit often recognizes movement before your circumstances reveal it. Continue protecting your peace instead of feeding anxiety. Continue trusting the quiet guidance within your heart rather than the loud voices of doubt around you. The person you love has also started noticing something remarkable. Every attempt to completely dismiss this connection only makes it return with greater clarity. They have reached the point where pretending no longer feels easier than honesty. They are beginning to admit to themselves what they have hidden for so long. That your presence brought them a sense of peace they have struggled to find anywhere else. This realization has become impossible to ignore. They are no longer trying to convince themselves otherwise. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because another layer of truth is about to unfold. The person you love is preparing to have a conversation they never expected to have. Questions they once avoided are now demanding answers. Memories they tried to bury are returning with unusual detail. They are beginning to understand that before they can fully embrace the future, they must honestly understand the past. My beloved child, this is not a season of punishment. This is a season of revelation. Listen to this because this message is for you. Continue walking with faith instead of fear. Continue believing that truth brings freedom, even when the process feels uncomfortable. What is unfolding now is creating space for greater clarity, deeper healing, and wiser decisions. The heart of the person you truly love is changing from the inside out. They are becoming more honest with themselves than they have been in years. And as that honesty grows stronger, they are moving closer to a realization they can no longer escape. There is still one missing piece they have yet to uncover, one conversation they have yet to fully understand, and one emotional truth they have yet to admit aloud. When those final pieces come together, my beloved child, they will finally understand why this connection never truly disappeared from their heart, and what they choose to do next will become the turning point that changes the direction of this entire story forever. Don't scroll, listen to this because this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now. My beloved child, there comes a moment in every soul's journey when the truth can no longer remain buried beneath fear, pride, or yesterday's pain. That moment has begun. What once seemed like scattered pieces of an impossible puzzle are quietly moving into place, and the person you truly love is beginning to see their past with eyes they never had before. They are no longer looking through the lens of old hurt. They are beginning to look through the lens of wisdom. That changes everything. Listen to this because this message is for you. For so long they believed that closing the chapter meant forgetting everything that happened. They convinced themselves that if they stayed busy enough, smiled long enough, or focused on other responsibilities, the unanswered questions would eventually disappear. But unanswered questions rarely disappear. They wait patiently until the heart becomes strong enough to face them honestly. My beloved child, I have been preparing them for this very season. Every lesson, every delay, every unexpected turn has slowly strengthened their spirit until they were finally ready to confront what they once avoided. Recently they found themselves reflecting on moments they had not thought about in years. A familiar place. An old conversation. A forgotten photograph. A passing comment from someone who never realized the impact their words would have. One memory led to another until they noticed a pattern they had completely overlooked before. Suddenly they realized how often fear shaped their decisions instead of peace. They remembered times when they ignored their own intuition because they believed someone else's version of events more than the quiet voice inside their own heart. Listen to this because this message is for you. Discernment grows when a person becomes willing to question the stories they once accepted without hesitation. Your loved one has reached that point. They are beginning to separate assumptions from reality, emotional reactions from lasting truth, and temporary confusion from genuine wisdom. Don't scroll. Your heart needs this right now because the awakening inside them is growing stronger every day. There was a night recently when sleep refused to come easily. Their thoughts continued returning to the same questions. Why did certain relationships leave them feeling emotionally exhausted instead of emotionally safe? Why did they spend so much time doubting themselves? Why did genuine kindness sometimes feel unfamiliar while emotional uncertainty became normal? My beloved child, these questions are not signs of weakness. They are signs that healing has entered a deeper stage. Real transformation begins when someone stops asking, "Who can I blame?" and starts asking, "What truth have I not yet understood?" That is the question now guiding their heart. Listen to this because this message is for you. As these realizations continued unfolding, they noticed something remarkable. They no longer felt the same emotional weight whenever old memories surfaced. Instead of fear, they felt clarity. Instead of confusion, they felt compassion for the person they used to be. They realized they had made many decisions while carrying emotional burdens they did not fully understand. Rather than condemning themselves, they began offering themselves grace. My beloved child, grace is one of the greatest gifts I place inside an awakened heart. Without grace, people remain trapped in regret. With grace, regret becomes wisdom instead of a prison. Perhaps you have also been sensing unusual peace recently. Maybe you keep seeing 444, reminding you that unseen protection surrounds this season. Perhaps 777 appears unexpectedly, encouraging you to trust divine wisdom over human fear. Maybe you notice meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to dismiss. Listen to this because this message is for you. These moments are gentle reminders that you are not walking through uncertainty alone. Even when answers seem delayed, movement is taking place beyond what your physical eyes can currently see. My beloved child, faith often grows strongest in seasons when visible evidence is still catching up with spiritual reality. Don't scroll. Your heart needs this right now because the person you truly love has begun recognizing something they never expected. They realize that every time they experience genuine peace with you, an old fear from the past quietly tried to convince them that peace could not possibly last. Instead of embracing happiness, they sometimes prepared themselves for disappointment before disappointment even arrived. Now they understand why. Old emotional wounds trained them to expect instability even when stability stood right in front of them. Listen to this because this message is for you. Awareness breaks cycles. Once someone recognizes the pattern, they no longer have to repeat it. This realization has become one of the most important turning points of their emotional journey. My beloved child, another beautiful change has begun inside them. They have stopped asking whether they deserve peace and started believing that peace is something they are allowed to receive. That single shift has softened their heart in ways they never imagined possible. They are becoming more patient, more thoughtful, and more willing to communicate honestly instead of hiding behind silence. They are learning that vulnerability is not weakness. It is courage. Every day they grow more willing to face uncomfortable truths because they finally understand that truth heals while avoidance only delays healing. Listen to this because this message is for you. There have been quiet moments when your name entered their thoughts without any effort. They tried to focus on something else, but your memory returned with unexpected warmth. They remembered your kindness. They remembered conversations that made them feel understood. They remembered how different your energy felt compared to so many experiences from their past. These memories did not bring anxiety. They brought peace. My beloved child, peace is one of the clearest ways I guide an awakened heart. Confusion shouts. Peace whispers. Learn to recognize the difference. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because another revelation is approaching. The person you truly love has started speaking with someone they trust about their emotional journey. For the first time, they are expressing thoughts they previously kept hidden. As they speak honestly, they are hearing their own story differently. Sometimes healing happens simply because the truth is finally spoken aloud. They are beginning to recognize that carrying everything alone only prolonged their pain. Now they are choosing openness over isolation. That choice is creating room for greater clarity than ever before. Listen to this because this message is for you. Do not mistake temporary silence for permanent distance. While you have been wondering what the future holds, important changes have been unfolding within the heart of the person you love. They are becoming emotionally stronger, spiritually wiser, and far more honest with themselves than they have been in a very long time. My beloved child, I do not waste seasons of waiting. Even when progress seems invisible, roots are growing beneath the surface. What develops slowly often lasts longer than what appears overnight. Perhaps you have felt moments when hope suddenly returned for no obvious reason. Treasure those moments. They are reminders not to surrender your peace to fear. Continue building your own life. Continue becoming the healthiest version of yourself. Continue trusting that wisdom always arrives at the right time. Listen to this because this message is for you. The journey ahead is not about recreating yesterday. It is about stepping into tomorrow with greater understanding than either of you possessed before. Don't scroll, your heart needs this right now because one final piece of this chapter is moving into place. The person you truly love has not yet uncovered every answer, but they are closer than ever before. One conversation, one unexpected realization, and one long overdue moment of honesty are about to connect everything they have been discovering. When that happens, they will finally understand how deeply unresolved emotions influenced the choices they once believed were completely logical. More importantly, they will recognize that healing is no longer just a hope, it has become a decision. My beloved child, hold on to your peace a little longer, because the next chapter will reveal what happens when an awakened heart stops running from the truth and finally finds the courage to follow where genuine love has been quietly leading it all along.